Hey you guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Keely here. If this is your first time seeing my face, hello there and welcome to my channel. And also a huge welcome to you to coming to episode 6 of Picture This, a photography series that I have on my channel. And I'm super excited for today's video because it is actually inspired by Jessica Bessie and Brandon Wolfell. If you don't know them, they're both photographers that are on YouTube and Instagram. And it's basically a bingo card / questionnaire about these so-called terrible things that photographers do. And I was just curious if, as a beginning amateur photographer, if I've done any of these things. So without further ado, let's just hop right on into the video. First question is, have I ever made a tripod out of books? Yes, I have. I had to for my photography assignments and my photography final for digital photography in community college. Have I ever done a FaceTime photo shoot? I didn't know that was a thing. That's a thing? Wouldn't that basically be like a so-called professional selfie? Have I ever done a photo shoot at sunrise? Ooh. If taking the picture of a sunrise counts, then yes, but doing an actual shoot with another human being at sunrise? No, I'm more of a golden hour sunset person for that. No photo credits. So most people that I've taken pictures of are actually usually pretty good about giving me photo credits. Sometimes there is that one person, and it's usually my siblings, that fail to give photo credits on my social media because I will do their Instagram posts. I'll take pictures on the DSLR, things like that. And I'm like, yeah, it's fun for me, but just make sure that, you give some photo credits. And I cannot tell you guys how many times that I have actually gone on people's posts and I say, at K.M.Longoria, or at K.Longoria, at Keely_Longoria. I have 3 Instagrams, so depending on which one I feel like tagging that day, like that's what I do. But I go and give photo credits to myself because I took these photos and I would like recognition for these photos. Have I ever done underwater photography? No, but it looked so cool. Have I ever had a hard drive go corrupt? I don't know if my hard drive is corrupted. Have I ever edited in Photoshop? Yes, I have actually edited in Photoshop, Lightroom, plus like desktop and mobile apps, as well as my latest favorite, which is Photoscape X, which is a free photo editor for both Windows and Mac. Have I ever said that I've been booked when I'm really not? I don't book things. Most of what I do is usually like, hey, want to do some pictures? Yeah, sure. Okay, let's go. Have I ever taken any self-portraits? Yes, and I'm actually going to put them right here. There's a couple that I took for my photography final and for my photography class, and there's such strong meaning behind each and every one of the portraits that I did, and they were really like powerful in emotions, meanings, things that I care about. Have I ever ruined a roll of film? Ruined? A whole roll? No. Made a couple mistakes in the darkroom? Probably. Have I ever shot with the lens cap on? Yes. With my Tamron 70 to 300mm. Have I ever hated every photo on a photo shoot? I wouldn't say hated, but there are definitely some photo shoots that I've done where I literally like 1 or 2 photos and the rest of them I'm just like, I really want to delete them, but in case I need them, I'll just put them on the hard drive. Have I ever trespassed for a photo? Unintentionally, and I let my sibling lead me to do this with her friend. So, long story short, I was getting some photos together for my digital photography class, and I had asked if there was anywhere like high up, not really like a mountain, but a big hill. And they said, yeah, we'll show you a place. And, first of all, I was terrified because it was literally a hill of rocks. And I was like, I am so gonna bust my butt. I'm gonna drop my camera. There's nothing that could go good about this. Like, this is all gonna go wrong. But everything was okay until we went a little, like, further down, like, in the hill area. And as we were walking through, and, I was asking, my sister and friend, like, hey, is this really okay? Like, whose property is this? Because I didn't know like where we were. I didn't know the area we were at. I'd never been there before. And the next thing I know, I hear pops and I'm like, what is that? And they're like, it's time to go. I'm like, what is that? And they're like, it's gunshots. I'm like, are you serious right now. And I live in Texas. So of course, if someone is on your property, people bust out the guns and they start shooting as a warning. And I'm like, great. I've never been here before. I am just gonna fall down this hill. I'm just gonna slide. Like, let's get out of here. So luckily, we got out. I will never trust anyone on locations like that I don't know. If I haven't been there, I'm not going there until I see who owns the property, if we have a permit, whatever. I am not trying to get shot. Okay, does my camera go everywhere with me? Not like for everyday activities, but if I know like, hey, we're going to Austin or we're going to Dallas, San Antonio, those kind of things, yes. Have I ever done an ugly location challenge? No, because everywhere that I could think to do it, I'm pretty sure that I would get kicked out. So I think you have to ask, hey, can I take pictures here? And they'll probably say no, I'll get kicked out of somewhere, and I just really don't feel like wasting my time. I mean, if someone wants to do a photo shoot from a dumpster, fine, but I'm not going to go and get kicked out of a store. Have I ever broken a prop? Me? No. My sisters? Yes. Have I ever asked a stranger for a photo? No, because where I live, I don't feel very inclined to ask strangers for anything. Have I ever exceeded a camera's shutter count? I don't believe so. Have I ever shot a wedding? No, I have not. But I'm kind of wanting to, just because I feel like that could be a really fun experience. Have I ever gotten asked for raw photos? Yes, and it drives me nuts. It honestly drives me bonkers when someone asks me for raw photos, like, hey, can you just send those to me? I'm like, yeah, sure, let me just send this to you off of my DSLR that has no Wi-Fi capabilities and just send it to you through the cloud. No. And a lot of times I will actually tell people that I don't give out raw photos because, one, they're unedited. Two, there are things that I do to my photos that people like them anyway in the end, and they like the vibrance, the crispness. And I feel like when people ask for raw photos, they don't understand that it may look one way on the DSLR screen, but getting it in person and having it appear on a laptop or computer, it is dull, it's not bright, not happy, nothing. Like when we as photographers put our photos into the photo editors, we are making magic happen. Like, this is our time to shine, and we will give you something that you will love. So this says, I'll pay you in exposure. I haven't gotten this done to me as a photographer personally, but I've had this done multiple times for my dog Angel's Instagram account. If you don't know her account, I'll have it right over here. And pretty much what happens is these so-called brand deals that are all over Instagram with these pet influencers. It pretty much goes along the lines like, hey, you wear our products, we'll give you basically exposure on our Instagram and so on and so forth, and you have to sell our products. I'm like, so I have to sell your products, post photos of my dog, work super hard to get creative content, and you're gonna pay me by putting my dog on your Instagram. I feel like it's rude. I feel like it's very rude because I know a lot of photographers are undermined and really not given the credit that they should be when, their photos are in newspapers, magazines, blogs, other people's videos, photographers modeling their own photos. There's a lot that photographers do, and the fact that they really don't ever get the credit that they deserve is disturbing, and I find the payment of exposure to just be redundant. Have I ever dropped my camera? Okay, I should not be laughing. But when I had to make my tripod out of household items, when I was between tripods, just to make sure that it wouldn't fall on the floor, I put a laundry basket. I put a bunch of bedding and clothes in the laundry basket and put one on like all sides of my little shindig setup dealio that was going on. And there was one time that my camera, I had it propped up on its side and for portrait mode, and it fell, but it fell in the laundry basket, so it was cushioned. Nothing got knocked out of place, nothing got scratched, not a zilch. Have I ever done a photo shoot at night? Yes, and I think the photos actually come out pretty cool, especially if you do long exposure with glow sticks. That comes out so cool. Bada bing, bada boom! That is the end of today's Picture This episode. I know it was a little shorter than we're used to, but I had to do this because I knew even as an amateur photographer that I probably did some of these things, and I totally have. So I really hope that you guys enjoyed today's video. If you guys are enjoying this picture, this series, I would love to know who is enjoying it. So by doing that, just don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you did enjoy it. And if you guys are liking the picture, this series, or if you guys have different ideas or requests or anything, don't forget to leave them down in the comments for me below. And I love you guys so very much. I hope that you guys are continuing to be safe, healthy, and the best people that you guys can possibly be. And I will see you guys in my next video. Bye! I love you guys.